What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good day. Back at it again. Made $180 today trading Nasdaq futures. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. So let's just start with that open range, 15-minute open range. We had an open range high sitting at 17,722. We had an open range low sitting at 17,557. Now, for those who are wondering what this shadow is right here, this is just something I drew on the 1 hour time frame. It was a nice little demand zone. And yeah, so Nasdaq open, we pushed up a little, got rejected really hard, had a strong sell off. I wouldn't even call this a small pullback. This was a nice sell off right here. Um, Now, as you guys can see, uh, this like this demand zones are usually where like there's still a lot of like buying limit orders that just haven't been filled. And one thing I learned a while back was that when, like, let's say this like demand level gets broken, like as it is right here, then like this becomes like the new supply zone. Um, but I actually did not trade this strong sell off in this this beautiful sell off right here, simply because one, I don't like to trade in supply and demand zones. I don't like to place trades. And that being said, I actually did that today, but I'm going to break down why. Mainly because the last time I did actually, let's not do that. Last time I did trade in a supply zone, I actually got bit in the ass really bad. So I was a little nervous today, actually willing to trade in it, but I had good reasoning. Um, Honestly, the only time I really saw a good trade was actually right here, and it was only because we had hit lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, and the lower high. Honestly, I really wanted it to touch that 559 level, but because we didn't and we came up short at like 555, I decided not to place a trade. I had the day off from work, so I said, "Hey, screw it. You know what? I can be on the computer for an extra 2 3 hours, no problemo." And the trade I actually did was, now I won't lie to you guys, I was really jumping back and forth between going long and short. The reason why was because once we started to show signs of a recovery and we started to make some higher highs and we actually started to form a really nice support here at 508, even on the 5 minute time frame it showed, I was really just debating on going long. But at the end of the day, on the 5 minute time frame, it was just direction was so clear that the Bears were in control that it was just, it was just going to be a red day. And so, um, basically, I let it play out a little bit. Once we broke above the EMA, like I said, I really didn't feel comfortable getting into this. But the only reason why I really did was because on the 5 minute time frame at around 599 600 was where the 40-day EMA was for me. That's where I have it set up, and I'm going to show you guys in a second so that way you guys can see what I saw. But basically, we got rejected. Once we started to get rejected, I said, hey, you know what, we're getting rejected at the 5 minute EMA. We're no longer, and on top of that, by the time I really started to really think about getting into the trade, I was like, we're not hitting higher highs anymore. I was like, you know what, I was like, why not just, I was like, let's go short when we break below the EMA on the 1 minute time frame. And I had decent margins. Honestly, the biggest reasons why I didn't want to get in at this area was just because the margins just weren't there. There was more margins from the upside, as you can see, than the downside. So I was just trying to be safe. But once we got that nice pullback, the margins were a lot better. Now, this is where it got really rocky for me today, guys, because this was almost a red day, and I'm going to explain how. So the first moment we cracked the EMA, my dumbass was like, "Hey, let's go short." So I did go short, which was nice and all, but then look what happened for almost 15 minutes, guys. Just straight consolidation. Now I got filled at around 559. Okay, so no shit. By time we touched this 581, I was down like $450. And I won't lie, I was nervous. I won't lie to you guys. I was nervous. I was anxious. I was having a really hard time. I kept telling myself, do not look at the dollar amount. Look at the charts. If we hit a higher high, get the fuck out. It's as simple as that. If we're not showing continuation on the downside, get the fuck out. And I'm sorry for my language. It's just, there's been so many times where, you know, like, I'm going to say this was a green day, but I'm going to acknowledge the fact that there's two things I could have done. One thing I could have done drastically different, and that was wait for a retest. This right here would have been a beautiful trade right here. Break below the EMA, handle lower lows, showing continuation on the downside, retest the EMA, lower high, and still sell off. So you have a continuation on the downside right here. This would have been a beautiful trade right here. But instead, I literally, like, guys, I held the trade for 17 minutes to be exact. Okay? 17 minutes. By the time we actually started to sell off, like the moment we were in the green, I tried to let it run a little bit, but I was just so anxious and so tired of being in the red that by the time I saw I was up over $150, I just took profits and ran away at that point. I was like, screw this shit. And this is like one thing where, like, I won't lie, my risk management is not best, and I need to study more about it. I need to one thing I am going to start doing is I'm going to start using TradingView. They have a thing on there that can help you show you like what's the best amount of contracts to trade with futures with like the risk reward. Where do I want to get out at? Where do I want to set my stop loss? So I plan on using that in the future. I still got to get used to it, but my buddy showed me that, and I really plan on using it. It's really helpful. And when I do get the hang of it, and I do, I get to the point where I've been using it consistently, I'll definitely show you guys for sure. But I see no point in me trying to make a video about it just because, I'm not new. I'm very new to it. It's not something I'm familiar with. And I don't want to sit here spewing shit out of my mouth that I really know nothing about. But yeah, finally had that break below that EMA, had a nice sell, like strong pullback, and then retest the EMA, and then continuation on the downside. But that was just my trade on the day, guys. Really rocky. Now, the one reason why, actually, I want to show you guys real quick. The one reason why I did not get out every single time we touched this 581 level was simply because we were not hitting higher highs. Our last high was at 599, and it was at 11:01 a.m. When we hit this right here, it was 11:17, 11:25. Even this one right here was 11:29. So almost like, 15 to 25 minutes later, we still were not hitting higher highs. So rejection at the 5-minute EMA, no longer hitting higher highs, and then we had a crack of the EMA. So I had three reasons why I could validate going short. And that's what I've really been trying to do since I started this channel is before I get into any trades, I want to be able to explain to you guys. Um, I actually used to have it here. It was like a little paper, but it always reminded me before you get into a trade, be able to completely justify why you put yourself into that position of risk, you know, and I had three good reasons. But yeah, the reasons why I didn't get out right here and even right here was just because we were not making higher highs. So, and we were still holding below that 5-minute EMA. So, in a way, direction was somewhat still going in my favor. It's just I got caught in that consolidation area, which can be really, really sketchy. And it was for me. But because there was a lot of times, guys, like for instance, right here, we were up in the green for like 5 seconds, and I think I was up maybe like $80. And then by the time we bounced it, within 3 minutes later, I was down like $450. So there was a big part of me that was really fighting myself, saying, "Hey, just cut losses, be done with 250. That's it. It's a lot better than losing 450." Because there was a lot of times, even like right here, not right here. This was actually right when I got in. Sorry, right here, right here. I mean, even right here, we were break even, and I was like, hey, just take this small loss, be done with the day. It is what it is. You have tomorrow. You always have tomorrow, and that's like my mindset. And that's where like I'm gonna say today was a green day because I had validation on why I got into this trade and why I put myself into a position of risk. But on the other hand, getting caught in this consolidation, I did end up taking the chance of losing $400 to $500, guys, and that would have just raised all of my profits from last week. So imagine how like that would have made me feel. That would have pissed me off in general. But I just want to be completely honest and transparent with you guys. Now I'm going to show you guys a 5-minute time frame real quick. Give me 1 minute to zoom out. So right here, actually, at around 11 o'clock, 11:05. And this is what I'm trying to get to, guys. Look at this massive sell off. Like directions clear as day. There's no reason for me to sit here and go, huh, I should go long on Nasdaq. Great idea. Like no, like directions clear as day right here. Yeah, we had a little strong pullback, but look what happened the moment we touched that EMA on the 5 minute time frame. Just straight rejected. Even right here, we tried to touch it, rejected. And then, as you can tell, we did consolidate for a little bit, which this is right here where I got caught in. And then we, went back to actually selling off. But just wanted to show you guys this trade on the day. Wanted to show you some mistakes that I made. If there's anything I could have done differently, though, that's where I'm really trying to get get that out of myself. Is probably, like I said, waiting for that retest. We did have that strong pullback. Nasdaq did start to recover. It was very valid right here, as you can see on the 5 minute time frame. I should have looked back. I should have zoomed out a little bit and acknowledged, like, hey, we are starting to recover a little bit, and we did break above the EMA and have a nice little rally on the 1 minute time frame. That being said, I should have waited for a break below the EMA and a retest, but that's really the only thing. But I mean, by that time, guys, it would have been like 12 o'clock. So who knows? Um, but yeah, I just really want to show you guys this trade on the day. If you guys got any questions, comment below. If you like this video, smash that sub button. It's always much appreciated. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good day.